Yeah, you know what it is. Welcome to the best coast. Yo, it's Bronze Age nerd with that collecting elite. Big B McFly, steady bringing the vintage heat. Pull up a seat, we diving in the stacks. Silver to the bronze, got the knowledge on tap. From Kirby's Kings to the mutants, wow. We breaking it down in that laid-back style. So grab your snacks, let the panels unfold. This is comic book chilling with the stories we told. Comic book vibes, we flipping them pages. Legends and lore from all the ages. Golden to the modern, we talk that news. With Big B McFly and the nerd cut loose. Yo, you tune into that Bronze Age flow. Where comics live and legends grow. Big B McFly in the cut, let's fly. Best coast, baby, comics are what saved me. Big B, yeah. Baby, comics are what saved me.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Best Coast Comics. I'm Christopher, aka the Bronze Age Nerd, and I'm joined, as always, by
the undisputed world champion.
Gotta give it up for the champion of the world there.
No, actually, there was these ads that were running on the radio in my car all the time. They were like, now that's a real man. And it's like, competing for the BMF championship. And I was like,
BMF,
the BMF belt. And I was like, I wanted to like cut that audio and be like, have me like walking into the house. And it's like, no, that's a real man competing for the BMF belt. And I'm looking down like, well, they do hold my pants. It does hold my pants up.
The Big B McFly belt. What is the BMF though? Like in the
Head mother.
But for what, like, is it for a sport or something?
Match thing, some like ultimate fighting thing or something.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
nice. Well, hey, we are here with an awesome show. Okay, I think Jay's back there educating.
Shut your mouth.
Once again, I'm Mr. Luddite when it comes to wrestling. Got a few people in the chat we're going to say hello to real fast, and I'll give you guys a rundown on what's going to be about tonight. We got Hydra Asylum coming in with that gold medal this time. That is our producer, Jay. What's up, Jay? GTK Comic was nice enough to come in for that silver place medal. And this is worthy in bronze place medal. We have Preston. Preston says, just wanted to drop my like for tonight. Have a great show. And don't skimp on my Anna. Okay, he wants some Anna de Armas. You know what that means. You know what that means.
Anna with your smoky eyes, dancing through ballerina, kiss me goodbye. You throw a punch, I say please, I'd like another. After Blade Runner, I'll never recover. Anna with your smoky eyes, dancing through ballerina, kiss me goodbye. You throw a punch, I say please, I'd like another. After Blade Runner, I'll never recover.
There you go. You no skimping on the Anna this time, although some would argue some of it was kind of skimped to begin with. And then Jay was backing him up. So, we really earned it there at that time, folks. Shigeki Kikita says, I hit my head on the bedpost as I clambered out of bed to watch Best Coast. I love the rhymes. Hey, here's somebody I ran into this weekend. We got Comic Tropes in the house. What's up, Chris? How you doing?
Did you literally run into him?
Yeah, probably a couple times. It was pretty crowded on one of the show floors.
Telling me. Not a lot of room for us big guys to maneuver, huh?
No, definitely not. It was a very packed. Artist Alley especially was extremely packed. Well, Chris, I'll let you use your imagination on what she's kissing goodbye. Let's put it that way. The 3 beside my comment was because I initially commented on all 3 streams. Oh, that's nice to know. I didn't know it actually did that if you did all 3 streams. That's cool. Anna de Armas as Catwoman or Black Cat. That's some good casting right there. That's the reason we had the Sydney Sweeney drop. So she was just every casting rumor alive. She got picked. Right. Yeah, too crowded in Artist Alley at Emerald City Comic Con, which we're going to be talking about here in a bit. They need wider alleys. I agree. Yeah, even one could argue some main streets would be nice. So big part of the show, we're probably going to be recapping. Big B and I both had big weekends. We did different things. And we're going to kind of talk about that. We got some show and tell we're going to show off and some story time. we will talk about a little bit of the news. There wasn't a ton. Some of the things I'm going to talk about that I brought to bring up are actually related to stuff that happened at Emerald City Comic Con. I'll let you all be the judge of how important that stuff was in the greater scheme of things, but I think they're interesting stories. One involves a celebrity, and one involves con policy and some cosplayers who were part of a booth, and I'll let you judge on that. Yeah, so I guess, so my big thing is I went to, the Mike Richardson stuff was the big news for sure. We're going to talk about that too for a little bit. My big story was I obviously went to Emerald City Comic Con. I was a panelist on Saturday, and I'll kind of talk about that as we get to it. I went also on Friday because I was lucky enough to be able to go for a while, and I thought I'd like to go and see it when it's a little less crowded. I'm really glad I did that. It afforded me some opportunities. Bigby, do you want to talk about your weekend and what you did?
Yeah, sure. First, I got to say something though. Like, Mr. McGrivy told me last week that you totally threw his entire day off by having you on the right and me on the left. He's like, that's not how it's supposed to be.
Sometimes it's just how it works. Bigby beat me to the show both weeks is what happened. So he shows up on the left and I show up on the right when I join.
Oh, I can jump out and jump back in if you want.
I mean, I can do this too. It's not like, I
there,
have
there you go. That'll make Mr. McGrivy happy.
Is that gonna? So is that what are we just gonna make people dizzy by doing this? Can we do that? Okay, I'll just be like this.
Camera 1, camera 2, right? Yeah. So I had a really busy weekend. So Friday night after work, I went over like I usually do and hung out with my good friend Travis, Comics Limited, and we did some art and did some trading, and then ran home, got about 6 hours of sleep, got up and had spent the first half of my day with my son, and then I went to kind of a high school reunion thing in the evening.
Ooh.
And then
it was like a 10-year high school reunion.
Yeah, exactly. More like
that.
Yeah, almost a 35-year. It wasn't really high school. It was a group of I was a youth group thing. It was like this really close-knit group of people that we used to hang out with. So
yeah, okay.
But it was really, really fun. And then got up early and drove to just past Olympia a little ways, and had a lunch with Aaron Psychotronic Squirt Gun and Bobby Otaku Tour Guide, and did some trading, and suggested we go hit up Half Price Books Outlet, which is it's 50 cents a book for comics.
Yeah,
flat. Which is crazy. We walked in and he just grabbed his shopping cart and started filling it up.
Wow.
Yeah, and he did fill it up more than once.
We're a hand cart, right?
No, like an actual shopping cart from a grocery store.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, he's like, well, he's like Amazing Spider-Man. Why would you pass up on Amazing? He's looking for trade fodder stuff. He's like, why would you pass up on Amazing Spider-Man for 50 cents? Why would you pass up on Uncanny X-Men for 50 cents?
Are they still putting the stickers on the actual comics there?
So that happens when a book has been at one of the regular locations for too long. They put the sticker on it,
Gotcha.
So it depended if it was a book that had been brought in to go to the outlet store, but people were bringing in books directly to the outlet store while we were there. And actually, Aaron had cleaned out an entire bin, and so we helped them. Like we moved some stuff so they could get more books out. And gosh darn it, if there wasn't another guy that slipped right in front of that bin as they were filling it up, and we sat there helplessly as he was pulling all of the John Byrne run of Avengers for 50 cents a copy.
Wow.
Just like, oh.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Not that he did that, but cool for him, right?
Yeah, but it was really, really fun. And I kind of regret, like at the end, I was looking at the piles that I had, and I was like, I've got to whittle this down. It's going to be so much. And then I think I ended up leaving for like $40 with like 2 huge piles of books. And I was like, what happened?
Yeah. Just get overwhelmed.
So I have some stuff to show for that a little later of like my best pickups from that, and then from the trading. And then I had a little bit of an adventure today. I actually have one other thing that happened today that I'll just quickly show that. Because you'd be surprised, I think, that I actually got this.
Was Henri at Emerald Jay? Because I didn't know. I was going to talk about this a little later. I ran into Mog and Mel there, but I did not know that Henri was there.
So I got the newest, hottest sold out thing that we talked about last week.
Oh,
On the newsstand 2 days early today.
nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So
I want to snag a copy.
last week,
I gotta
right?
go find one. Yeah, I got to go find one, man.
Yeah, first printing because they said they were going to the second printing,
Right.
and it's pretty darn cool.
That is cool.
It's very full
Congrats,
color all
man.
the way through. Really neat.
Nice. Yeah, I'm super interested to see what you think when you get a chance to read the whole thing or whatever. And
In the articles, I skimmed some of the articles just to begin with, and I was like, really cool. And it looks like they have a lot of like behind the scenes art for things like Absolute Batman. They've got some there's a character design page there.
right on.
All kinds of stuff in here. So yeah, it's pretty neat.
I think that's cool. I was excited to see that. I've been wanting something like that in my life for a while now.
And it has a whole history of zines inside of it too, which is kind of neat.
That is cool. I like it.
Yeah, so I didn't get a chance to tell you, but I snagged that. He's like, I put it out early. Probably shouldn't have, but I put it out early.
Probably shouldn't have. That's great. Hey, what's up, Awesome Sauce? How you doing? We're just talking about our weekends.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
So yeah, so let's see. And then Friday and Saturday I went to Emerald City. Sunday I just kind of spent with my family. So that's, it's exciting, but it's not necessarily relevant to the show. But yeah, so Friday I just hung around Emerald City. I guess I'll talk about that, and then we'll get caught up to what you did on the trade show after we talk about my Friday, and then I'll talk about Saturday.
Yeah, sounds good.
So Friday I got up to the show. So I'll give you real quick. Here's my kind of review or breakdown of the experience at Emerald City Comic Con as a con goer. Even though I did get a badge for free because I was a guest on Saturday as a panelist, I will, I still had to go to will call and get my badge because the guests don't get the badges sent out to them early. So I had to go to will call to get my badge. At least the panelists, maybe the creators do or something. So I only waited about half an hour for my badge on Friday. I got there like after parking and being confused and walking to wherever the will call was. Because here's the thing. In Seattle, downtown at the convention center, there's two buildings, the Arch building and the Summit building. And they're kind of within a block of each other, but they're separated by a street. So it's a little confusing on what's happening in which building and where you should park and all that stuff. I'm glad I went on Friday because it made Saturday go a lot smoother because I could figure out where I was supposed to be and everything. But yeah, after I got in, it's a lot of, they hand you a badge. Now I've never seen this before, but on the badge, you have to then go activate the badge. And so
Activate the badge.
Yeah, like and I'm like walking through and I'm like, okay, well, I'm past all the people trying to get in. And I try to like go start activating my badge. And there's a person in that area that's like, I'm not like in the middle of a walkway. I'm kind of off to the side. There's not a bunch of people in that area. And one of the con people was like, you gotta, keep moving. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I keep moving. I go to another area, which is even less crowded. And I'm starting to like, just kind of activate my badge. Oh, you got to keep moving. This is another person. I'm like, oh, okay. And then that happened like 4 times. And I'm like, eventually I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to activate my badge. Well, you don't have to activate it right now. It's like, I'm trying to go to the other building and I don't know where am I supposed to eventually go activate this thing? You guys aren't being very clear about this because I definitely wasn't blocking the way or anything. It was just very strange. Anyhow,
why were they telling you to move along?
I mean, I think they were just told to like let traffic keep flowing, but I'm like, what? Like, I am definitely not. I'm not blocking a doorway. I'm not blocking like a walkway. There were people milling around at the top of the escalators.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and I think if I didn't activate it, I probably would have been fine. But it was just strange. At one point, they did scan my badge at one table, and it like sent me like my contact info to somebody. So I guess that's the reason why I would activate it.
Oh, I can see how that could be helpful. Or like if you were like getting signed up for like a creator's
I'm trying to remember even who
or something maybe.
I'm trying to remember who scanned it, but somebody did. At one point, I was like, oh, cool, you can just scan that. Neat. Anyhow, I'm just kind of griping. It wasn't the biggest deal in the world. What was really frustrating is the building where I activated my pass, I then was like, okay, well, I think I need to go to the other building because I think that's where Artist Alley is and everything. And I guess I just was turned around. I ended up walking to their building for no reason. And I, I've got some mobility stuff going on with my knee right now and kind of some of my back stuff. So I wasn't stoked about doing a bunch of walking. On one hand, it's really good for me to be walking a little bit. But I didn't want to kill myself walking around a bunch right at the beginning. So I walked to that building. I go all the way to the top floor just to find out that it's not Artist Alley. That's where the celebrity guests are, which I don't really care about. And so then I ended up having to go all the way back over to the other building. And not only go to the other building, go to the other side of the other building because it's the other side from where Will Call is. I'm like, okay, great.
Oh, no.
Finally, I get in. Okay, I know, kind of boring story, but it's just a lot of walking around. Multiple times going through security, which actually was really easy for me. You walk through a metal detector, and as long as it didn't set it off, they didn't care. Anyhow, the good news is once I got there, I had a lot of really good opportunities to meet some creators and wait in a lot less of a line than I would have if I had gone on Saturday. I'll just kind of go in
chronological. Have been pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll kind of go in chronological order here of who I really met. So I went and saw, and I'll show off stuff as I talk about it. The first thing I did is I actually was trying to find where Artist Alley was exactly. I was kind of in the right room, but it's where the few publishers were too. So I went up to Boom because they were there, and I got this is an Emerald City Comic Con exclusive blank they had, so it's green.
Oh, very cool.
And that is the 10th printing, I guess, of number 1.
Nice,
which is kind of cool. And I didn't get an artist there to do it because I didn't really necessarily want a commission for what I would want from anybody there. Maybe I'll have somebody later, but I have it now, so I can always do that. And then I thought this was really neat. I'm a big fan of the artist Flops, and they had a Flops corner box mystery bag there. And so the Flops stuff, I'll actually show you because I haven't opened that yet. But they had stickers, so this is kind of like what we're talking about. It's these that's Flops right there doing something is killing the children, and then there was a Berserker.
Cool.
So some pretty neat stuff. So that's kind of what that is. So I was like, okay, I'll get those things.
Flops is an artist, though.
Yeah, Flops is an artist. Does that? This is Flops art, so that style, kind of almost like a vintage pulp kind of a style.
Yeah. Just
really,
clarifying.
Yeah, really like his style. And then let's see. So I met
Isaac.
I met Ryan Benjamin, who's somebody I've always really wanted to get a chance to talk to. I'm a big fan of his art tutorials he does online. So I had him sign my copy of Union 1 up there because I actually really enjoyed Union. It was one of my favorite Image titles back in the day that I like to read. And also, he did the art on Gen 13 Half, the Wizard edition. So I had him sign that too.
So I got to jump in before you move on from Ryan Benjamin.
Okay, go ahead. Please do.
He's going to be joining us for our Sunday art stream pretty soon.
Oh, nice. Right on. So he was really cool. So the funny thing is I bumped into him before I went to his booth because he was talking to Marissa Pope, and I stopped at her booth, and I love Marissa Pope. I love her art. And he was being very, very complimentary to her. He was kind of just talking her up. And it was funny because he was actually she was sharing a booth with Ali Garza, and he was telling her, because Ali wasn't there at the moment, he was telling her that he likes her art a lot more than Ali, who is a much more famous artist than she is. I think it's fair to say.
Okay.
But she had some stickers, so I picked up a couple stickers from her. You
gotta make yourself big. Yeah, there you go.
Nice. That's Marissa Pope. And then everybody will know why I picked up this one. Little white queen there.
Well, when it comes in focus, I can kind of see a booty there.
It's just white is the problem.
There we go. It's white queen and her white booty.
Yep, a lot of white cheeks going on. And then I actually thought she had a really affordable price on some of her sketches. So I picked up this Supergirl sketch from her.
I saw that on your post. It's beautiful.
I'll kind of hold it up a little bit closer to see the detail on the face there. I like the way she does faces a lot. So
very cool. The very anime expression there on the face.
Yeah, and then talk to her about some stuff that might I don't ever like to blow up somebody's spot until they can commit to something. But I talked to her about something that might be coming up on the show, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then I went over and Ryan Benjamin was there. Oh, this is a great question actually. What's the most you'd pay for a signature that's not art? That I should bring that up because one of the people that I was going to talk to who was there was Jeff Loeb, and I had barely said something to Jeff Loeb at Rose City Comic Con last time he was there, and he was going to a panel or something like that, but I had a chance to just say hello to him or whatever. And this time I wanted to go up and get a couple signatures, so I brought my Hulk #1, the Red Hulk cover. I brought King Size Hulk, which I've had Arthur Adams, who did some interior art on that, and I had Frank Cho, who did the variant cover I have. I had him do a signature on it. So I was like, oh, I could get Jeff Loeb to sign my King Size Hulk, which reprints a lot of cool Hulk issues like Hulk 181 and stuff. And I also brought one other book for him to sign too. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. But I had these 3 books, and I was like, oh, I'll go have him sign these. Jeff Loeb was charging $45 a signature, or $40 a signature, which to me, for a writer on a book, is insane. This is a convention, by the way, where you have Chris Claremont, who's charging $15 a signature. And you know what? Jeff Loeb, I know, I think his old stuff is great writing. I think that he's obviously gone on and done some stuff in Hollywood, of course, too. And I think that he's somebody it's fun to see at a convention. I think any writer charging $40, and I'm not talking about CGC witness books. I'm not talking about certain books he asked for more. Those were more on top of this, if I'm not mistaken. I just saw the raw signature $40, and I was like, nope, I'm out.
That's insane.
That's just not going to happen to me. I'm going to agree with Metal Elf here. Absolutely no way. And so 15 is about the most I would pay, I think, for a signature from somebody that's not a celebrity, not a actor, actress, somebody famous, something like that, photo op, those kinds of things, right? Anyhow,
like a Hall of Famer kind of person, like a Stan Lee or something like that. Who's still around.
And I'm trying to think of who would even be like what Barry Windsor Smith is still around, right? Like he's somebody who I'd probably put in a pretty high caliber.
Yeah, Barry Windsor Smith.
I don't know if I'd pay
maybe Jim Steranko.
Steranko charges a little. I think Steranko, I want to say, charges like 20 or 30 a signature. I want to say, maybe I'm mistaken about that.
Right,
might depend on the show too. And I think that those guys, you're getting a 20 or 30. I think you're starting to get pretty up there.
A lot of times you have more than one book you want to get signed in. They're charging $40. That's a lot.
It's a lot, man. Anyway, all that to get to the point I was going to say where I did run into Ryan Benjamin before I went to his table, and then I walked over and talked to Ryan at his table with the books because he was trying to get back to his table because he was getting a phone call, and I was trying to buy some art from Marissa. It worked out. By the way, Marissa, I should say on this art, originally she hadn't filled in the Supergirl logo on the chest, so she did that for me at the table while we were talking about some other stuff. It was just kind of the blank shield. She was awesome. We had a fun story. We talked about cheesecake art and that kind of stuff, and we talked about possibly doing something later on. Oh, that's right. He signed. If you bought one of his prints, it was free. And if you bought a comic from him, it was free. But I think his just regular signature fee was a little expensive. Big Apple, he was saying that Steranko was $50. It looks like Awesome Sauce was saying. Something like that. It's definitely gone up. And to me, that's a lot. I mean, he is a living legend, but
it's just weird how at SummerCon, I want to say Thanos guy.
Jim Starlin.
Might have drawn a blank on his name. Jim Starlin. He wasn't charging that much. No,
Adam Hughes is another huge name. He was charging like $10 a signature, I think, at Rose City, for example. And I actually, Gail Simone, who I'll talk about a little bit later, had a post about this on her Facebook page that I really thought, that's great, man.
So you got it for free, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, right. Although he charged twice as much if it was an unhappy ending. Gail Simone had a great, because Gail Simone doesn't charge to sign. And she had this great post where she's talking about how she shared a table or was next to a table with Neil Adams, and how he had told her, hey, you got to start charging for your signatures. And she said, I just don't want to. And she kind of had this conversation. And it was, props to somebody like Gail Simone, who obviously is a huge name in her own right. But she was talking about how, hey, as much as I love and respect Neil, it's hard to disagree with him. In this case, I have to. I think that if somebody's coming up and they just want, book sign, and she'll sign as many books as people bring her. And it was just interesting, like her approach on it. And I guess, since I just mentioned that,
I mean, I get how worth, like, I remember back in the day, like people coming up to tables with like one of those little wagons full of books for a creator to sign. And that's kind of crazy when they were signing for free. And I totally get that. That's ridiculous. But you could say, like, you could limit the free signatures. Like, you can I
think she would do batches, like, for somebody who was doing that or whatever. Like, I'll do the first 20, and then I gotta talk to the other people in line, and then you get back to the end of the line, and then I'll do the next 20 or whatever. I think that's how she was handling that.
I remember a guy coming up to Alex Ross in Portland with an entire little wagon full of books. It was just like, that's ridiculous.
I mean, I know a lot of people handle that stuff by making like an appointment at the show, like before or after hours. They're like, hey, I've got a couple short boxes. I'd love to pay you, a little bit to have you come sign them separately from that. I think that's a really good way to handle that if they're willing to do that.
That's a good way to handle. Yeah, but most of the time I've seen people doing that kind of thing is they want to take advantage of the free signature and take advantage of the artist that way. So I can see where you would eventually maybe get resentful of that if that kept happening and it's holding up the line for the nice people,
Yeah, like Jay is saying here, she basically said she feels you already supported her by buying the book, and that's exactly right. And she was selling scripts for her books there, stuff like that. And I think that, like, Larry Hama made a comment on her post, and it was a really good one. He's like, hey, consider maybe putting out a donation for the Hero Initiative or something like that, where if you
charity, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, that was just his suggestion. I think there's some other good ones. Comic Trip says, I paid $25 for Michael Golden because he sort of surprised me, but I decided I would do it, and that's his upper limit for a signature. Yeah, Michael Golden's weird because I met him a while ago, and I guess it's before he started doing some of the things he's doing now. But I bought some prints from him, and he signed them for free. I bought the prints. They were like,
if you bought an Avengers Annual 10, it's going to be $50.
That's what I did not bring him. So
he charges more for that one.
I love this. To be fair, Loeb had a line of 0 people he wanted to keep from growing.
Oh, I can see that, where he just didn't want.
And I will, every single time I walked by, he had nobody at his table. It was nuts. It's just crazy. I guess, there's one other person I met on Friday I should mention real fast. And this was a huge and pleasant surprise for me. Big fan of Empowered and his work on like Gen 13 and Gen 13 Bootleg. Adam Warren, I'm a huge fan of his. I had no idea he was going to be at the show. He wasn't listed in the normal guest section, or at least I never saw him there. And I just walked across this table and just effusively was, so appreciative that he was there. And I asked, if he was doing sketches or commissions. He said, no, not really at the show, but I do have these. And he handed over a pile of page roughs of Empowered that he had. So for $20 each, I got these original Adam Warren sketches. I know some of the stuff's on the top is kind of light, but I had to get a kind of a booty one. If you know Empowered comic at all, you have to see that. And he's got his signature up there. And then there's kind of some panel roughs he was doing for Imp right there. Shows up a little bit better in person than it does with the bright light shining on the camera. And then I got another one.
Be sure to check out Chris's Instagram. He has good pictures of him on there.
Yeah. And he's got like even some of the text is up there. No, this isn't fair. And then that kind of stuff. And then this one had some bondage on it, which if you're familiar with the comic is like a intentional thing they make fun of in that comic book. The damsel in distress trope is heavily discussed tongue in cheek in that comic. So I was super happy to get that. Then I brought some first appearance stuff for him to sign because this is something I've kind of gone over with, and I went over it with him because there's a debate on what the first appearance of Empowered in comics is, because it was a webcomic originally, and he published trades and stuff like that with Dark Horse later on. But he agreed that this is the first appearance of her in kind of a traditional comic. It's a little smaller than a comic, but this is Empowered, the winch with a million size, and it is an actual traditional comic book inside. But I had him sign that, and that's a special
like an
one-off
Ashcan kind of thing.
It's like a full comic book, except for it's just like a 3/4 size. So it's an Ashcan form factor, but it's an actual comic book inside.
Oh, okay.
And then there was another special I had him sign, which is 10 questions for the Made Man, which is one of the other characters in the comic. So I had him sign that one. And then this is the first full-size comic I'm aware of, which is Empowered and Sista Spooky's High School Hell. And I had him sign that too. All comics I picked up at Things from Another World back in the day, which is owned by Dark Horse, or it was at one point. I don't know if they're still owned by Dark Horse at this point. So yeah, you know what? It's funny is I think he just likes the 2K26. I think that's just how he likes to sign it.
Different.
Yeah, it is different. It is a really good question, Shin. I appreciate that point there. Awesome Sauce says he's paid upwards of $300 for a photo and an autograph from Chris Evans. Yeah, and I mean the celebrities thing, it's a different ballgame. Like Hayden Christensen was there, and I know that he was charging hundreds for like photo ops and signatures and that kind of stuff for items, and that's a completely different ballgame. But for comic creators, I think I'm kind of with Chris. I think $25 is probably my upper limit, except for maybe Steranko, maybe Barry Windsor Smith. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that's kind of in that caliber that would be, that I don't already have a signature from. I think that's probably about it. Anyhow, that's kind of.
I think Starlin is in that caliber.
I think he's in that caliber, but he doesn't charge that much. And
right, yeah. But I would say he's in that group.
I 100% agree. And for me personally, even though I know a lot of people wouldn't put him in the same stratosphere, Larry Hama would kind of be in that group. By the way, I like how Larry does it. Larry does if you want it signed to you, like if you said, hey, 2 Big B or 2 Bronze or whatever, he'll sign that for free. I think the first couple or whatever are free. And then if you want it just a regular signature, he charges for that. I think it's, $10-15 or something like that with him. And then it goes up from there.
Wow. Tropes, are you serious?
I think that's for Absolute Batman #1 specifically. Him and Snyder both charge more for that one. I think especially if it's going to be graded, like witness grading. Wow. It's not $200, but it's something expensive.
Okay, it's like
no,
wow,
but it is something they do charge more for it. I was seeing like on some forums, some people were talking about it. I want to say it's like 50 or 80 or something like that. I can't remember.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's pretty nuts. But anyways, that was kind of my Friday, and I did go again on Saturday. I got a lot more to talk about there, but I want to make sure Big B gets a chance to talk about.
I didn't get this Friday, but I did get this the Friday before from Trav in a trade session. So
there you go.
Absolute Batman 4th printing Virgin Foil #1. So
that's the Jim Lee, right?
No, this is Dragotta.
Oh, that's Dragotta. Okay.
Yeah, the black and white edition. So yeah,
nice. Cool. Right on, man.
So that's pretty cool. So I don't really have a bunch to show from trading with Trav or anything. I didn't
want to be able to one talking nonstop for a while. I don't know if you want to fast forward to your comic swap experience. Or...
Did we mention, or did that? No, that happened on Thursday. So Thursday, I went to that store where we were talking about unfortunate experiences, and I happened to find they had in their bargain bin a run of Haunt by McFarlane. And I noticed 2 of the books were signed. And I was like, sweet. So I took them up to the register and with a bunch of other stuff and was buying them. And then the guy ran across the first signed book and he's like, well, that's not for sale, and especially not to you. I was like, it was in your bargain bin. So yeah, well, that was interesting. We just add that on the unfortunate experiences thing. So, you know.
Not to change the topic here, but Awesome Sauce does bring up a good point about Frank Miller kind of being in that strata as well. I think he's pretty damn close to there if he's not in there already.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah. Big B, why do you keep going back?
Because I keep finding stupid things for stupid prices. So
yeah.
And he missed the second autograph, and it turned out they were Greg Capullo autographs. So you know,
those are good ones. Ones. Did it have some Greg Capullo muscle sweat on it too?
Probably, yeah, just dripping with sweat. Had to wring it out. No, but yeah. So that was just but I got a whole giant stack of Haunt for less than cover price. I mean, that's awesome. A pretty good book. Yeah. So
yeah,
very low print run, and it's McFarlane, and it's part of the Spawn universe. So
and Kirkman too, right?
What's that?
Wasn't Kirkman like a?
Kirkman was writing it. Yeah, I've got the books right here, a stack of them. I can show a couple of them.
I gotta be honest. I guess that's the one book of his I never really read besides Battle Pope. I never read most of that. I just read like the first issue.
He missed drawing Spider-Man, so he made a image Spider-Man. That's kind of, there's more of what that character looks like. He's got these weird ectoplasm web things because he's kind of a ghost.
I remember the ads were everywhere, so I saw a lot of the like.
Yeah, so I got all the way down to like issue 6, and then I went way through the run. Here's another one where he's kind of doing the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, so a lot of McFarlane did a ton of the covers, and then Capullo, and it's like I said, I keep finding dumb things for dumb prices, so I can't not go back. It's part of the price I have to pay.
The owner is going to kill you one day. He sounds terrifying, says Trumps.
It's going to kill me one. Yeah, people will go in the back issue bin, and back issue in my head will be on the wall. But well, I'll show the one other thing from today from that place.
Yeah.
So I was grabbing some stuff from when we were doing the trade thing on Sunday. Psychotronic Squirt Gun was looking for Marvel Tales stuff, and so I was grabbing from his bargain bin today Marvel Tales, and I was being really condition picky. And this one I saw, I go, wait, that one's darn it, it's got some sort of an ink smudge up there in the corner. And then I go, wait, that kind of looks like a star. And I opened it up, and it's a Mark Jeweler.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool.
What issue was that? Which Marvel Tales?
Marvel Tales 93. It's low mid grade.
Yeah. No, that's cool though.
Jeweler.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's awesome. Cool. I think what I'll do is I'll talk next about the panel experience before we get. We're already kind of talking a lot. So for those that don't know, I was going to be on, hopefully you heard me talk about it. I was going to be on a panel on Saturday at ECCC for where to start collecting comics. I was invited by Joel the Geek, who was the moderator of the panel. We ended up having a little bit of a lineup change, but our panel ended up being Pink of Y. I'm sorry I called you Pinkify earlier. I guess it's Pink of Y, who is a cosplayer, and there was DJ Kirkland, who's a comic book artist, who was there, and also Comic Tom 101, and then myself. And we had a panel that we had some amazing guests. Some really cool people showed up. Got to meet everybody there for the first time. I'd introduced myself to DJ Kirkland the day before because he had a table in Artist Alley, so I was able to go up and talk to him first. But I met everybody there in person for the first time. I've talked to Joel the Geek a few times, but never actually was able to meet him in person. So that was really nice. And yeah, it was just it was a fun panel. It was a really cool experience. I think we were all being kind of a goofballs and nerding out about it. We were lucky to have some guests because I don't know how I would have found any of the panels at that show. Just it seems almost like you would have found them by accident, or if nothing else. But we were way up on like the top floor, next to top floor of one of the buildings in a meeting room that isn't obviously labeled unless you're specifically seeking it out. So really thankful for anybody that showed up to that. They didn't allow photography or videotaping of the panels themselves. I don't think anybody did when I was looking out at the crowd, but I would have loved to have seen how it went. Apparently you can collect whatever comics interest you. Yeah, I think that was a big part of our theme. We did what we could with the topic. I think there was a lot of fun subtopics that we could have really got onto tangents about. Things like, comic book storage or digital versus physical all came up. Collecting for speculation versus collecting for nostalgia versus collecting for just reading. All those kinds of things came up. It was really great. That was very kind of you. Thank you, Chris. I was very, very happy to have Chris in the audience. It was very fitting. I remember being at his first panel and really rooting for him, and it was fun to have him in the audience for ours. And awesome. Look across the faces and say, like, is he asleep? No. Okay, we're probably doing all right. It was just a lot of fun. And we went over on time, which isn't too surprising. We have people like myself and Joel and Comic Tom. I don't mind throwing us under the bus. We all talk a lot, and we all went over on time. And I didn't even realize I wasn't the moderator. I wasn't paying attention to time, but I had to kind of nudge the moderator and point to the back of the room because one of the people came up and they had a sign that said "Time's up." And I know we were supposed to do like Q&A with the audience the last few minutes and stuff. We just never even got to it. But I think we pretty much covered the topic and maybe even beat it to death a little bit. But it was a real treat to be on that side of things as a guest, to be asked to be a guest. That was really fun. And I think in a second here I can probably pull up a picture here of what that experience was like. But I think it's something that a lot of people don't have the opportunity to say that they were a guest at a Comic-Con, and so I definitely felt pretty privileged for that. Would you rather host a panel or participate now that you have done both? I think the best I could hope for would be to kind of do a combination where it's almost like a round table with the guests. If that makes any sense. I think that's a really fun combination to like be part of the conversation, have it be less formal than than some of these other things are sometimes. Hang on, I'm trying to share this picture here because somebody was nice enough to send one along. And now it's loading. Loading. Let's see if I can do this without revealing my phone number and stuff. So there's a picture of the panel that somebody was nice enough to just send me. Nice. There you go. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's DJ Kirkland there on the left. And then there's Comic Tom writing some stuff down. Pink of Y, some nerd that's from the Bronze Age. And then there is Joel the Geek there on the right in the purple shirt. So highly appreciate it. And again, I just felt happy that we had some guests there. That was really fun because I was like, man, nobody's gonna show up, and thankfully we had some butts and seats, so I really appreciated that. Yeah, it was a fun experience.
So you had a good question for you.
I also have to know if Comic Tom is as high energy in real life as he is on video. He's 100%, and I've heard this about him before. I was familiar with it. We know somebody who actually works with Tom, for example. We have a mutual friend that works for Tom, and I've kind of that's just who he is. That's not a personality thing that he's putting on at all. I mean, certainly he knows how to be on camera, and I'm sure that some of it's
I've seen him be low key before too, but yeah, he does.
Yes,
he's excitable.
Yes, especially when he's like at a show, and I'm sure he's like ready for. I had a super interesting original interaction with him that is just for me and him, and it was really funny, and I'm sure it's going to come up again if I ever see him in real life. But I will say he was collecting some comics there, and he was buying some comics, and he was buying a bunch of ASM, and he was showing it off. He's like got, first Madam Web, and he's got, first Hobgoblin and stuff like that. And he was talking about stuff he was buying down on the show floor, and he was all excited about it. And you can tell he's just a comic collector nerd, just like we are,
Right on.
So that was really fun. Yeah, just shout out to all my panel mates and everybody who came. It was a lot of fun. But yeah. And then so yeah, that was kind of my panel experience. I have other stuff to talk about with what I got on the show floor and show off some original art and some signatures, but I've been talking for a long time. I want to get back to Big B. I know you're jumping forward to Sunday or whatever. Why don't you tell me about anything else that happened at this meetup of the community we went to?
It was a lot of it came together at the last minute, as these things kind of do. I was going to say there was one thing you didn't talk about that you were critical of at this show, was there was no Big B with snacks and juice boxes for you.
That's true. That was a real problem on Friday when I didn't get to Chris Claremont stuff yet. I'm jumping around, typical ADHD fashion, but I waited in line for like an hour and a half to meet Chris Claremont before I left the show on Friday, because I was like, it's just going to be insane on Saturday. If I may as well, because I went to go to get in his line because it looked really short, and I found out it was because he was going to a break. I came back at the end of his break, and there was a sign that kind of extended his break time. Like he must have texted, like, I'm going to be an extra 15 minutes or 20 minutes or something. So they wrote down a new time on his thing. And so I was like, well, okay. And I went and met a couple other people. And then I came back and I'm like, there's a line, but it's only 30, 40 people, something like that. I'm like, I know he takes a lot of time with each person. It's a long line to stand in, but I knew it was going to be even longer on Saturday. And I knew I was going to have stuff going on where I may not want to wait in line for hours. So I just bit the bullet and waited. But man, my feet were killing me. I was starving. I needed caffeine. So I was missing Big B's con present there quite a bit. Friday was the weird day because I knew people at tables. Like there was actually some people I could have like went and chatted with, and I'm pretty friendly with a few of the people that I see regularly, like at Rose City and stuff like that. But nobody that I knew outside of that. I didn't recognize anybody just walking around the show floor. So didn't have any like personal connection with anybody, which I missed. Saturday I did get more of that, thankfully. But yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so we got together we met in the parking lot of this restaurant that Psychotronic Squirt Gun, Aaron. If you guys don't know, I keep saying those names. Those are their channels. Psychotronic Squirt Gun for Aaron and Otaku Tour Guide for Bobby. And we had on Otaku's channel, we had done a video where we had showed some books that we had, and we would each express interest or non-interest. And his whole goal was he wanted to downsize his collection because there's a possibility he might be moving soon, and he wanted to focus on Superman. So I brought a bunch of Superman stuff, and we did some trading. So I'll show some kind of highlights of weird, odd things that I got, like like a Amazing Spider-Man book and record set.
Ooh, yeah. That's cool. Nice, man.
Kind of weird, but he's like,
those are fun,
I don't know where I got this, but you can have it now.
Awesome Sauce. I think I might know who you're talking about. I think Big B and I both kind of know that person, if it is who I think you're talking about. No, this is somebody different.
I got a 10-cent Detective Comics from him.
Ooh, right on.
Pretty nice shape too. But,
yeah, it looks like Brooks, clean colors and stuff.
Yeah. It's got a little E written up here. I don't know. Mr. E
stands for excellent.
Excellent condition. That's right.
Yeah.
Edgelord,
Dark Knight.
He had a lot of things like normally I wouldn't pick up. This is a Philip Tan remark.
All right. I love Philip Tan.
Yeah, on Spider-Man. I was like, oh man, remember he did sign it. It's like really tiny. He signed it at the very bottom.
Okay.
So yeah, so Philip Tan. This one kind of an odd one, but Bernard Chang signed.
Yeah.
Up here at the top in gold. I don't know if you guys can see it up there. It's all across the logo, but
he's cool.
Yeah, so Bernard Chang. This one is Dustin Nguyen, I believe. He signed up the side there on the there. Gotham.
Nice. Hey, what's up, Damien? How you doing?
A second printing of the first Court of Owls issue.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, right on.
A Moon Knight key from the Bronze Age.
Yeah.
First Midnight or something.
Yep. I remember that blew up when the show came out.
Yeah.
Right before.
Some Frank Miller Daredevil.
Yeah.
With that Canuck in there.
The old knucklehead.
Speaking of Jim Starlin.
Oh, nice.
Avengers Annual, important part of the Thanos storyline.
Yeah.
This is one of the bigger keys that I got. It's really, really rough, but first appearance of Metamorpho.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, that's still cool, though, even if it's in rough shape. That's hell yeah.
Some John Byrne X-Men. You know, I love my John Byrne.
Yeah, definitely. I guess he's somebody in that conversation, too, by the way, for the
one. He doesn't sign anymore, does he?
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't do cons, right?
Right. Book I've never really thought I'd been on the hunt for, but first Dr. Afro.
And that's the first print, right?
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
A book I have been looking for.
She's a cool character.
Seriously hunting for it, but I've been like, oh, if I find it, it'd be nice. Secret Wars #2 is first God Emperor Doom.
Yeah.
So he was showing some of those on the video, and I was like, there's one that I want to get. I think it's 2. It's the first appearance of God Emperor Doom. He's like, oh, I think I have that. So
nice.
And then this one's kind of a cool one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that cover.
And this one is a key because it's a weird key, but this is the first appearance of Spider-Gwen and Jane Foster Thor in the background on Halloween.
Yep, it's a very strange issue.
Yeah, so there's
there's people who try to say they're in costume, but no, they're actually walking around as them.
Right. It's like there was no Spider-Gwen before.
Yep.
So
that's a weird one I've been trying to find. It's also a pretty low print run, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And then King Size Annual #7, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, you got some good stuff, man.
And this is the coolest thing. I think it's kind of oddball, but do you know who Richard Corbin is? I'm sure a lot of people in the chat know who Corbin is. So this is a book called Bloodstar. It's a big hardcover book, but it is considered to be the very first. I want to be really careful with it, but the very first graphic novel.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's from 1976. It's hand numbered inside, limited to 5,000 from 1976.
Wow.
It's worth a fair bit of money. And so somebody has gone to the trouble of putting the Mylar that they put on them and
the dust jacket protector.
The dust jacket protectors. It was really. He was in the chat with us. He's like, asked Psychotronic if he knew who Corbin was, and I was like, dude, that's like a Hall of Fame underground artist. Like, I'm like, yes, I know who Richard Corbin is, and he's like, well, I guess Bigby wants it. The art is by Richard Corbin, and it is written it's art by Richard Corbin, and the story is Robert E. Howard.
Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah. Even better.
Yeah. So it's illustrated by Corbin and written by Howard.
Damn. That's really, I hadn't heard of that book before. That's really cool.
Yeah, neither had I. He was like, hey, do you know what Bloodstar is? And I was like, no. And he's like, do you know who Richard Corbin is? And I was like, yeah. And so I typed it in and I'm like, oh, that's a serious book.
Hey, Travis, thanks for joining the show. What's up? Glad to see you here.
I looking it up, I see people offering it around. Some people offering around the $200 mark. So,
wow, that's cool.
Pretty cool little item to pick up.
Hell yeah, man, that's awesome.
Reader says it's an adaptation of a Robert E. Howard. There we go.
I think we'll be okay, man child. Appreciate it. Did Sabrina Carpenter send you? I like that song. She does, man child. Yeah, very fun. Yeah, we're getting pretty close to the end here, so I will show off the rest of the stuff I had signed, and then I'll kind of show off the original art I picked up. You got some great stuff, man.
Yeah, I got a couple other things for the end, but we'll
okay, cool. We'll do another round of back and forth then.
Smaller things.
Gotcha.
Four smaller things.
So I'll show the sticker real fast. I mean, the sticker is not the exciting thing, but I got a piece of art for my daughter. This is a sticker of Harley Quinn, obviously there. Try to get that in focus from Agnes Garbowska. And there's her QR code and her name if anybody wants to look her up. But she does, really cool. When she goes to these shows, she usually brings like little sketch cards and stuff. So I got a little Pinkie Pie sketch card for my daughter from her. And it's not going to show up very well on the camera because of the light glaring off it, but it's got like a little gold metallic ink laid into it too. It's kind of hard to see there, but
again, you guys check out Bronze's Instagram. He's got really good pictures of all the art and stuff on there. So. Yeah,
I'll make sure to post that up. But she was really excited to see that. And then on Saturday, Boom had, this is a comic ECCC exclusive blind bag for Something That's Killing the Children that was limited. And it's like, you know, it's got the ECC exclusive there. I don't know if these blew up and were being resold or not. I haven't opened it yet. I haven't had time to do any of that.
You meant to say mystery bag, right?
I did mean to say that. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes.
It's a mystery pack. And then I mentioned Gail Simone earlier, but there's Adam Hughes, Uncanny X-Men 6, 1 in 100.
I saw that when you posted. I was like, man, I'm jealous.
Yeah. I talked about the Ryan Benjamin stuff. I got to meet Terry Dodson. That was really fun. I've always wanted to meet Terry Dodson.
Nice.
Had him sign a Harley Quinn #1. That's her first ongoing series. And he did the cover on that, as I think the interiors too, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, just yep. Yeah, he did. Him and Rachel both did the interiors on that. And then one of the other people I got to meet, who I missed at Rose City Comic Con, I don't even know if he had much time at his table there, but David Finch had him sign some Aphrodite 9. So this is the dynamic poses. He signed it in green down there.
Oh my goodness.
And then I had him sign my favorite Aphrodite 9 cover. I'm sure people can guess what that is. That's Aphrodite 9 #0. He also signed that one in the green down there. Just give everybody a little close-up of that. Yeah, there you go. And then
just a little close-up.
And then another cover of David Finch's I love, which, you know, people are going to be surprised by, and that is Psylocke #1, which is, you know, just kind of a nice
why
book.
You like that one so much?
I don't know. It's crazy, right? And then he signed that one in purple, which I thought was really cool. That lavender color. Speaking of lavender and purple, I got to meet John Zhang, who my daughter's a huge RC fan from the Transformers. He donated the art. 100% of the sales of this comic book were donated for breast cancer charity. And that is this awesome metal RC cover. And I brought it there for him to sign. Cool. And he said he signs these for free, which I didn't expect to have that happen, but that was really cool. And I'll be posting up a picture. I've been slowly posting the pictures from the con. Tomorrow I'll have pictures of him and I got a picture of that too, which is really neat. And then I mentioned Chris Claremont. I had that chance to meet Chris Claremont, had him sign some books. I'll show the books real fast while I'm telling the story. Got first appearance of Guardian from Alpha Flight there, X-Men 109 signed by him. I wanted, with both Gail and Chris Claremont, they've both, my favorite character is Cyclops, right? My second favorite character is Rogue, which they both love. Obviously, Chris Claremont, you know, created Rogue, co-created Rogue. There's a first full appearance of Alpha Flight, which I already have the cameo signed by him. There's 121. So I went up to both of them and I started giving them a hard time about Cyclops. And it was very fun, very funny interactions I had with both of them. Actually, by the way, Chris Claremont said this is one of his favorite covers. This is Wolverine #8. He said he's always loved this cover.
I love that cover.
Yeah. He said, if you thought Wolverine next to Scott was ridiculous, you know, and the size difference.
If Rogue is your second favorite, does it mean that I have to make Cyclops my second favorite?
You don't have to, but you can if you want to.
I mean, I have to. I mean,
if you were smart about it, I mean, you would find that that's true. And then this is the last
one. If I was a smart man.
No, I'm just kidding. Everybody's free to love whatever X-Men they like. There's so many good ones to choose from. In fact, I've kind of famously said my least favorite X-Men is Storm. However, I still love Storm. Like, so just
Right.
take that with a grain of salt.
It's
So
like
anyhow,
saying, like, yeah,
I had a great
my
interaction with
flavor of ice cream, but I still love ice cream. Like,
yeah, great interaction with Chris Claremont. Great interaction with all those creators. Actually, Gail Simone had a lot of fun moments talking to them. I will say this: you consider this a scoop if you want, kind of. I asked Chris Claremont, he was kind of looking for some clarification I was looking for on the Cyclops thing I talked to him about. Basically, because he's famously said he doesn't like how Cyclops left Madeline for Jean when she got resurrected and X Factor and all that stuff. It's all out there. You can go read interviews where he's talked about it. And I said, have you forgiven Cyclops? And he said, it's not my place to forgive him. I don't write him anymore. That was fair enough. And I said, okay, but just if you were to write Cyclops, is there anything you would change, or how would you? He's like, well, I'd have to kind of think about that if I was paid to be doing it. And they said, well, actually, and he's like, no. And I said, you got to tell me now. He's like, I can't. Like, I'm going to be wondering forever now. You were going to say there, come on, you can't leave me hanging. He's like, well, hey, just be happy you're going to be around forever to wonder about it. It was a very nice thing of him to say, but there's something about how he said it in the context that almost made me wonder if he was going to say he is going to be writing Cyclops again. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it's almost like, and then he realized he can't say that. He kind of realized like, oh, maybe other people will hear me say this or whatever. Also, to be fair, I have a YouTube channel. He didn't know that, but I would go tell people if he did say something like that. I'd be like, hey, guess what Chris Claremont said?
unless he told you to keep it on the down low, right? Like,
yeah. Hey, have a good night. Awesome sauce. Yeah. I mean, I of course, if he said it was off the record, but he wouldn't know it was on the record. Anyhow, I want to make sure I show some other stuff. I know we're a little over on time. I got I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show, by the way, we're not only streaming on my channel, Bronze Age Nerd, we're streaming on Big B McFly's channel. We're also streaming on the EXP. All of the links for those channels are in the description below. Go check us out on all those if you're not already. However, one of the shows on the EXP is called Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. And Mog Park is the artist in the duo there. And she was a concept artist like on Game of Thrones, the TV show for production for that, for example. And she does a lot of great art and commissions. So she had some stuff that was at her table, and I saw this piece and I had to get it. I love the play on what she has going on here. So pick this up from Mog Park. So it's Power Girl with a whip, because there's kind of like a little play on words there, right? Power Girl. And I also love her signature. It's a little cat there.
Nice.
But yeah, that's so great. Got that from her. I know the contrast just doesn't want to show up very well, but she's yeah. I'll make sure to post a picture of that on my Instagram.
Keep pointing people to your Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
like I'm trying to the Discord server.
Discord server would be a great place to look. So I have 4 other things from.
Oh, I've got one last thing, and then I'll be done with my stuff.
Sorry, buddy.
No, you're all good. You're all good. I just want to make sure that I don't have to come back because the transitions take longer. So Chris told me that there was going to be somebody there that he wanted to go meet, and Tashio Maeda is a legend in the manga world, and it's not something that I'm necessarily extremely interested in personally. However, I think its cultural impact was undeniable. So he said he was going to go swing by Tashio's table, and I was like, yeah, sure. I want to go meet this guy. The reason he's famous is because he's the guy who created Tentacle content. So he's essentially the father of hentai.
He is called Iratsuka Doji.
Yep. And he is also known as Master Tentacle is another thing he's known as. He was a super nice guy. We got to meet him. We got to meet his assistant. We got to meet, hear a little about the history and the lineage. Chris is very, very knowledgeable about this kind of stuff. Just throwing that out there. No, but I think we were just interested as fans of art and history. And he had these wonderful pages in front, and then he had this page of cheaper art. He's like, there's some cheaper stuff here. And for $80 a page, he had original like 80s manga pages. And
cool.
I have to cover something up on this page real fast.
You just realized there was some inappropriate.
No, I knew there was, but I just knew I could.
I bet it was a butt. I bet it was a butt for some reason.
Maybe. But I'll just show this off real fast. So this is straight up from the 80s.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, just really cool stuff. And
Hey,
for $80, man, to get a page from somebody that's, I mean, it's really kind of historical.
It's kind of a Hall of Famer as far as that field. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And I mean, it's just like, it's kind of like taping it together on the back there and stuff. I mean, it's just a very very
so he had edited the panel, wasn't
he? Yeah. And you'll see the reason why when I show it to you later, because I can take the post-it off now. But I know Chris got a page too, and was very excited. And it was just, we got pictures with him. He signed it was a really cool experience to meet somebody like that.
That's really cool.
A master. And I mean, how often are you gonna get the chance to meet someone like that? Just not very often, I feel like. So but yeah, I guess he's a Northwest native now. So
that's
cool.
I mean, interesting. I wouldn't have known. It's really cool when you have somebody like Chris to hang out with. We all have our own little specialities and what we know, and drag each other around and be like, hey, check this out, So
yeah.
And in fact, when we were so on Sunday, we all ended up at, like I said, Half Price Books, digging through the bins and everything. And one of us would throw something out and be like, hey, this is important because yada yada. And the other people were like, for real? Like, I had no idea. And so we were all like, learning from each other as we were showing stuff off.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I found when I was digging through is there was a little stack of these, and I ended up giving some to Aaron, Psychotronics Quirk, but these are they're a little smaller than normal comics, and they are given out on military bases. They have
I've seen those before.
Yeah,
those are cool.
So they have the PX up here so they can, it's for soldiers to be able to read comics.
Have a good night, Shen.
So so those are kind of neat. And they have a little value to them because they're an unusual thing that's usually given out overseas or on bases. So kind of neat. And there was a little stack of them in the bin.
That's cool.
And then two of the better things that I found. I don't know if you guys have been reading the One World Under Doom stuff or anything, but this is the first appearance of Valeria Von Doom.
Right on. That's a good one.
So that was in there for 50 cents in nice minty condition. So,
yeah.
And I got to thank Aaron, Psychotronics Work. And so I walked in the door and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go through this section. And I'm like, that's like a couple steps more. So I was like, oh, this will be easier to get to. So I went to my left and he went to the section to the right that I was going to go to. And immediately he's like, dude, there's like a giant run of Marvel Age in here. And he's just like, yoink, and throws it in the cart. And I was like, oh. And like sitting on top of the ones that he pulled out was the John Byrne issue that I've been looking for. And I was like, would you be possibly open to me getting one of those? And he's like, sure, no problem. And so I was able to get the
nice.
Marvel Age, with the She-Hulk John Byrne cover, which is really cool.
That's one of the big ones.
Thank you, Aaron, for letting me grab that book out of your books. Yeah, and then right after that, I mean, he's like I said, he's just like, Amazing Spider-Man, chunk, chunk, chunk. Why wouldn't you? Like, Uncanny X-Men, and because I mean, he does a lot of trading and facilitating trades between people. So he's like, I'm always looking for those kind of books, and so he's like, this is the one to come to, is the outlet, because instead of being half of cover price, everything is 50 cents. So
it's a great price. I mean, comics don't get much cheaper.
I like I said, I was kicking myself at the end because I put a bunch of stuff back, and I was like, I could have got way more. I could have gone back and I knew where I put them all, but I was like, at that point I was so tired. But
I've had that bug happen many times where I'm tired at a show and I'm just like, even though there's great stuff to be had here, I'm done.
Yeah, one of the last things I grabbed was the Adam Hughes Catwoman, the red cover. They had the graphic novel of that for like $4.
Oh, right on. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like, okay. I won't say no to that. But
That's a good one.
So speaking of that Discord server.
Well, you know what? There's a couple of things we got to talk about real fast because
do we need to change into our suits?
We never even made it into these suits. All right, I promise I'll change out real fast. We will go over this stuff pretty quickly here as we are going a little over on the show here, but I do have a couple things. First off, we never talked about this because it broke, I think, right after we did our last show. So did we talk about Dark Horse and Mike Richardson being out as the CEO?
No, we did
not
not talk about that. Tropes alluded to it, but we did not talk about it.
Yeah. I didn't think we'd made it that far. I just wanted to make sure I was right about that because we do need to address this real fast. So Embracer bought Dark Horse a while back, and there's been some shakeups that have kind of happened over the last, was it 18 months or whatever since they bought Dark Horse. Embracer's like a video game company. They're kind of the company. They're not actually the company that made games like Darksiders and stuff like that, but they're the company that bought the companies that made those games. It's kind of weird.
Consolidator.
Yes, yeah, they're basically buying up IP. Is kind of what everybody has sussed out from them, and of course they bought up Dark Horse for movie rights, basically for their characters and all that kind of fun stuff. Excuse me. So it's interesting. Yeah, they bought them back in 2022. They are ousting Mike Richardson, who's who created what's going on over at Dark Horse, has been a huge part of that.
His love child.
Yeah. I mean, just an absolute, a pillar of the comic book community, of the comic book industry is what I want to say.
Right.
And they ousted him in favor of, it looks like installing a gaming executive as interim CEO. It's an interim CEO, so I can't really read too much into that, but it makes sense. Jay Comas. Excuse me, folks. So they said it's part of their long-term vision to better align Dark Horse within a more connected and forward-looking group structure. We're implementing changes to modernize the business and strengthen collaboration across publishing, games, film, merchandise, and other key areas. It's pretty messed up.
I wonder if that precludes Richardson from going and starting up another publication house.
I believe he has actually already been, I'm trying to remember, this has been a while now since I've read this article, but I think he was attached, to another company at one point. There was some rumors he might be going and joining a comic website, I want to say is what he was going to go join. I don't know if this article mentions that, and now I've forgotten the name of which comic website it was, and I don't want to say the wrong one. But I saw some stuff linking him to that. But yeah, he also was the founded Pegasus Fantasy Books, which is familiar to people who've been around the area for a long time, which is now called Things from Another World. That's another important point. A lot of people have heard of that name and didn't realize there's a connection between those two things. So look, I'll just say it in plain English. It's shitty.
Yeah. Well,
it's kind of how business works, though, unfortunately, but it is not, doesn't mean we have to like it.
Well, I hope it all, sometimes things like that shake out for the better. So I hope that's what happens.
Oh, can't stop yawning now. I'm sorry. Should have had that second cup of coffee. Or when I say second, I really mean third. So here's the other one. This happened at the show, and it's why I wanted to talk about it. This was at Emerald City Comic Con. So actor Michael Rooker, from Walking Dead and Guardians of the Galaxy and, a lot of other stuff too, of course, who's kind of been a darling in the con circuit. A lot of people loved it. He's very, very boisterous on stage and outspoken. He was accused of shoving a fan at the show. So I will tell you this. Speaking of poorly run things, like, companies taking over, I know somebody mentioned how Reed Pop took over Emerald City Comic Con. There was a lot of criticism about the lines and the way the convention was organized, there were some accusations of some of the security personnel targeting people of color for things like their badges not being clearly displayed. There's quite a bit of stuff that's been kind of circulating since the show happened. And this is one of them. So there was a lot of crazy long lines. People, I mean, there were things like people were getting their autographs from Hayden Christensen like 5 hours after their time was supposed to start or something like that. And so it was pushing that thing. He was there for 1 day. I guess the Michael Rooker line was pretty long. So was the Bryce Dallas Howard one. Anyhow, what happened here is that on Saturday, the attendee on the left here in this picture on TikTok claimed that Michael Rooker pushed her. Excuse me, cannot stop yawning. And she has so at the show, you could have an ADA, Americans with Disability Act, sticker on your badge, which signified that you had disabilities. You weren't supposed to stand in line for very long. She'd already been complaining about the line being too long and her standing time. And apparently, the photo ops were pretty quick. She went through the photo op. And what I've pieced together from what other people have said in forums that were claiming to have seen what happened is that Michael Rooker was kind of like, she was trying to turn around and say something to Sean Gunn, because it was a Sean Gunn, Michael Rooker joint photo shoot. And she went to say something to Sean Gunn, I don't know what, and he kind of pushed her along, basically, is what I've heard. But apparently, she's already injured and she got shoved out of the room. She's saying that is not okay here in the statement. I've seen people say she's overreacting. She's saying, I don't care how bad your day is. Our day was just as bad. You don't lay hands on your fans. That's not how you do it. Do better, dude. They're waiting for a comment from Emerald City Comic Con. It's one of those things that's just kind of interesting. I mean, this is, not just a forum post. This is actually some local news that was covering it here in Western Washington. And yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have a news source for this. I'm gonna quickly scroll while I'm talking about this and try to explain what happened because I'm in the group where there was people talking about it, but I know one post was removed. So speaking of removed, and I did reach out to one of the cosplayers for a comment because we've actually met her before. There was a booth in the show floor at Emerald City Comic Con that had two, pretty famous cosplayers. Faces by Rachie is what one of them goes by. She's a cover model for Dynamite and a lot of other comics. And then there's also Emma Dilemma, who's the one we met. We met her at Washington State Summer Con. She was dressed up as She-Ra at that show. And they were at a booth that if you made a purchase over a certain amount, I believe, you got like a photo op with them, and they were dressed up as Vampirella I think it was on Saturday. And Rachie she's lost her mom recently to breast cancer. So she was wearing a pink classic Vampirella costume, the one piece kind of thing, but it was made in pink vinyl. And I think Emma Dilemma was wearing like the classic red or something like that. And so you would pay your certain money. They would come out and they would take a picture with you, and they were kicked out of the convention.
What?
Yeah, they were kicked out. Supposedly, they were kicked out for having something that was too revealing. Okay, here we go. The post was removed, so I found that where they kind of talked about it again on the post, and I will bring it up here. Oh, of course, it doesn't save. Sorry, give me 1 second here, and I can share what we have going on here. Okay. So here's the person, this is on a public, it's a Facebook group, but it's basically public. It got deleted, but I had screenshots first. Nice try. She said, Dear Emerald City Comic Con and ReedPop, many people in the cosplay and comic community are concerned that reports that 2 Vampirella cosplayers were asked to leave a shared artist booth at Emerald City Comic Con after complaints about their costumes. They go on to say that she's a well-known character that's had this costume for years. There was nothing that violated the policy that Emerald City Comic Con had for their guidelines for cosplay. The skimpy outfits are allowed as cosplay, essentially, is kind of what they go on to say. And this post was removed from this group, but this is part of a fan group, which apparently it got removed because this person says some posts get flagged as spam and are hidden until an admin can look at it. The only post I've deleted was one with name calling. And so this person's reply now is standing. But I'm going to scroll down here because I think there's a picture that somebody posted of the cosplay. And I know both cosplayers talked about it briefly on their social media. I reached out to one of them for comment, didn't get a reply in time for the show. Here's the cosplay in question, for those that are wondering. Which, you know, I mean, the person on the left is a person that got their photo op taken with Rachie there on the right.
Right.
You know, it's kind of what it is, right? It's I'd say that's pretty standard. Yep.
Yeah.
You know, love it, hate it, whatever. But there were a couple comments from people saying that she adjusted her costume at a couple points, and they thought that maybe that was a little revealing. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. I think that it kind of threads that line between. I think that if you're going to allow cosplay, you have to be universally allowing it. If you're saying that there's no restrictions, and maybe there was some, you know, revealing costumes at Emerald City Comic Con, let's put it that way. And if those people weren't asked to leave, then they shouldn't be asked to leave either. The one thing I did see that was kind of interesting is I know that there was supposedly, I don't know this for sure, a ban on booth bunnies. This is kind of a term that's been used for that before in the past. And if that's the case, I could see them being removed for that reason, because if they were sponsored, attractive women that were there for the purpose of promoting the booth, that's kind of a booth bunny. So then again, you know, Rachie's been on, I think, hundreds of comic book covers at this point for cosplay covers from like Vampirella Comics and stuff like that, Red Sonja, all kinds of stuff. So you could make the argument, I mean, like, that she's just,
they're celebrities for the of the comic community.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. I don't really know where I fall on it, but I thought it was worth pointing out. And if I do get an update from Emma about that, because you know, we're friends on Instagram or whatever, I'll let you know if she replies with any more information. I know they were hanging out with Rock DeLynn after they got kicked out, which is kind of funny because they were posting it like from a restaurant outside the show. She's a comic book artist, if you're not familiar. She's a really good one. Rock DeLynn, I don't actually pronounce it, but she was really nice. I said hi to her by the show, by the way. Yeah. Oh, I guess I should also mention I there's other people I ran into that I should probably point out. James Foster, Nerdy Musings, got a chance to meet him. That was really, really amazing. Really nice guy. I was happy I got a chance to bump into him. A few fans.
Small fella, huh? Pretty small guy.
Yeah, he's a very, very imposing figure. He would do great in some cosplay. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he could play Hercules or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Huge.
Or the Hulk, or you know, whatever.
Yes.
Like the
both.
Ringo. Yeah. Shout out to some fans that recognized me too. That was very flattering. In fact, it was crazy. Somebody came up to me, and I was happened to be walking with Comic Tropes, and I figured for sure they were walking up to Comic Tropes. And they said, "Oh, hey, Bronze Age nerd, yeah, I know you." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's very nice of you." And then literally like 5 seconds later, somebody walked up to Comic Tropes and recognized him, a different person. It was really great. So shout out to all the people.
That's always great. If you guys want to know, we love that.
Absolutely, very flattering and nice to have people run into you. Other big things, you know, I shared this on the Discord server, which we're going to talk about here in one more second. This is quick news. It's not a great update. I'm sorry, but Bruce Campbell, I think people know about this by now because it literally was right after our show last week. Bruce Campbell says he has a cancer that is not curable, but it is treatable. And he says he's one tough old son of a bitch. So we'll kind of stay tuned for more of that, but he has dialed back his fan appearances and work stuff that he was working on because of this. So he just wanted to kind of update his fans and kind of let them know what's going on. And
I love how he's like, "I apologize if that's a shock. It was to me too."
Yeah, he's fun. He is a funny guy. Funny guy. And then sorry, that was a breakneck speed stuff. But that's kind of the main news I had. I want to make sure we talked about it and didn't wait another week to talk about those things.
Right. Those are important things to talk about, and especially the things that happened at the show. Really important to talk about.
Yeah. Yep. And then now I'm not going to play the full thing, so it's probably going to make me turn my mic back on. But I'm going to play the quick intro.
Sent from you to us, it's art for all.
All right, and I did that just because of time reasons, and I don't want the show to take too long. So we are going to share our community art that you have shared with us. I'm going to share our Discord server here. the Bronze Age Nerd Discord server, which, by the way, you can, nope, not server boost. I mean, you can boost the server if you want to, but that's optional. Invite to server. Let's get that copied and paste it into the chat so you all can come check it out. And if you post your stuff in here, anytime the next week, we'll show it next week on the show. So
not even limited to, you can post it during the show.
If you can make it the next minute or so, you might get it on the show. Shout out to Headless Hammerhead, who posted this Jink.
Beautiful piece. I love it.
Really cool. I love the color on it too. From Arcane / League of Legends. Really fun character. There was some good cosplay of this character too at the show, by the way.
There was some great cosplay of her at SummerCon.
Yeah. We saw quite a few then. I think probably like Arcane had just come on or something like that, I think, or pretty recently.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Good job, man. And then he was kind enough to actually post something I sent him as a gift with an order from Heroes for Heroes a couple years ago. He said he hadn't shared it before, but his favorite characters, he likes Namor and Black Bolt, I think, are his two favorite characters.
That's really good, Chris.
And so I did this piece for him on a comic backing board and sent it along with his order.
That's awesome, man.
There was a batch of orders where I did this for everybody. I had the question like, who's your favorite comic character? And whatever they put in there, I tried to do a sketch for them. So
I thought that was posted. I thought that was Hammerhead. I didn't read the context. I thought that was Hammerhead's art. That's really good, Chris.
Yeah, it was my old attempt at some Kirby Crackles there on the top too. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And then he did a sketch inspired by Felix Adler, the King of Clowns. If you like clowns, I recommend visiting Lake Placid, Florida, which has the highest concentration of clowns per capita. That's a scary fact, as well as Toby's Clown School and Museum. Chances are, if you meet a handful of people there, one or more will be a certified clown or certifiable. Who knows, he says. So he did that. That's really terrifying. If you're afraid of clowns, I'm sorry.
Love it, though. Good job.
And then looks like we got some Stevie D here doing a Magneto. That's cool. Got the evil eyes on the Magneto. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice job, Stevie D. And then Trav came in and posted some art, it looks like. What do we got here? Oh, hey, nice Batman sketch, man, with Bane. I like that Bane a lot.
Very cool.
Subtle hint here: commissions are open. Please message me. I appreciate the self promotion there. That's great.
Yeah, subtle.
I love this Iron Man he did.
Yeah, really good. Yeah. Love the colors.
Yeah, and then
love the colors on that one too, man. That was beautiful.
Yeah, and then that's cool. I haven't seen him do that style.
Yeah, just a portrait picture he's doing for.
That's nice.
For his art class, showing people kind of what he wanted to have them do. So
very cool. I like that a lot. Got another Stevie D, Pinky in the Brain here. Oh man, nice job, Steve. Nice job, man. I like it a lot.
Good job, buddy. Beautiful.
Oh, and then this amazing artist I know named Big Me McFly was posting some art too. That's he's an upcoming artist, man. You should definitely go check him out. I believe commissions are open for him as well. You might want to hit him up.
He does have commissions open.
I love the perspective on this, man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that came up. My favorite part is the gun.
I mean, doing the perspective on the gun and the placement of it. It's like I don't want to say like suggestive, but there's kind of like there's a flow to all the angles there that I really appreciate.
Well, yeah, originally when I was drawing it, I was trying to cover because the way I had her posed, it was going to be really focused on her crotch, and I was like, I need to cover that up a little bit. So it takes the focus. I like it a lot. And then you got a ghostwriter here too. That's really cool. That's a commission. That is a commission. That was actually a commission that I did to pay for the cleaning and pressing of my Fantastic Four #1. Oh, there you go. Right on. Yeah. Well, I think both people are going to be pretty happy with what they get out of that deal then. Yes. I've got a very skilled cleaner presser working on it that I trust, and you get a piece of art from me. So there you go. Very cool. Good job, man. So yeah, if you'd like to have your art featured, I posted the link into the chat. We'd love for you to go post your artwork on the Discord. Sure. I love it. The pew pew. The pew pew placement. Yeah, so sorry, there's a lot of stuff to try to jam into an hour show. So much so that it actually turned into an hour and a half long show. Yeah, back in the day, it used to be a 2-hour show.
True. Yeah, we're still cutting the difference. But yeah, I was trying to get through all the information. Hopefully, if you're watching on the rewind too, if you found any of that stuff interesting or you had questions about any of it, or if we went too quick on something, go ahead and drop a comment down below. We'd love to get to it. Same thing can be said if you have anything you want us to talk about, like in a future show or in a future video that Big B and I might do, like topics about collecting comics or whatever. We'd love to hear about that as well. Any of our weird antics and adventures you want to talk about, you can always hit us up on social media or leave a comment.
Plenty of those.
Yeah, exactly. And more to come on a couple of those fronts. We definitely are they're on the back burner. So yeah, wow. A lot of stuff. Are you going to be back on Sunday?
Back on Sunday, yep.
Back on Sunday for the
on Sunday
live art stream.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All the greats there, including James Foster, who I had the pleasure of meeting this weekend in person for the first time.
Evgeny and everyone will be back. We didn't do one this last Sunday because everybody had, for some reason or another, just what everybody had something going on. So
hey, it kind of lined up.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shiguguki. We appreciate that very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks to everybody that helped out. Joel, thanks for inviting me to the panel. If you're watching, buddy, I appreciated that. It was a really, really unique opportunity. It was very fun to check off my bucket list and a fun experience. And thanks to everybody who supported, liked the posts and all that kind of stuff. I got more coming, and I'll show off all the art in a little bit higher, detail and all that stuff for everybody. And short of that, we're going to be back next week with another show, another bit of news. Hopefully not so much stuff to pack in there, but you never know. I don't know. The world could go crazy. It's not too surprising these days if it does, I guess. And short of that, we'll see you next week. Have a great week, everybody.